Welcome to Democracy Today. I am Ijoma Osamor. It's 77 days to the next round of general elections in Nigeria. Tomorrow is the first day of December 2018. The date is significant in the electoral calendar for 2019 election. First, it's the date for the commencement of electioneering for state and legislative elections. It is equally the last day for either the withdrawal of replacement of party standard bearer. In all, 29 out of 36 governorship seats are for grabs, while the legislative seats in the state houses of assemblies stand at 991. The issue of security of lives and property before, during, and after the elections is a source of concern, and many people, many have even faulted the attitude of political gladiators as the nation moves into another round of general elections. And some of the concerns raised are not unconnected to the desperation for power and authority by the political actors. Now, the media is not also immune to accusation of partisanship in all of these and unprofessional conduct. And whenever the subject of discourse is election and the media is involved, perhaps this informed the training and capacity building that the INEC put together this morning for journalists by not only INEC, but also the European Center for Electoral Support, ECES, which held in Abuja this Friday.
It has been repeatedly shown across the world that the media is a powerful tool for protecting the rights of citizens to information, giving voice to the people, providing platforms for diverse opinions, and creating conditions for tolerance and understanding. However, we have also had a glimpse of the flip side of the coin, where lack of professionalism, objectivity, and impartiality have, in a number of unfortunate cases, plunged nations into turmoil.
It is my hope that the interaction in this workshop will help achieve its objectives and be useful in the lead-up to the 2019 general election, and participants will be in the position to provide the general public and critical stakeholders with more objective and factual information about the Commission's actions, policies, processes and procedures, while acquiring additional professional skills from external resource experts, presentations on critical topics, and emerging trends in professional journalism.
INEC chairman did not just call the journalists and the media professionals together, but rather he used that as an opportunity to make public the number of candidates in eyeing and also vying for elective positions in the 2019 general elections. He said, and I quote, "A total of 73 political parties have filled their nominations for presidency. Even so, a few parties have nominated candidates below the mandatory age of 35 years as presidential and vice presidential candidates." INEC went further to say it has drawn the attention of the parties concerned to the breach of the constitutional requirements ahead of the publication of the full list of presidential and vice presidential candidates for the 2019 general election. It said for National Assembly elections, a total of 1,848 candidates. 1,848 candidates, and out of this 1,848 candidates, 1,615 are male and 233 are female. This number are those vying for 109 senatorial seats, while 4,635 candidates, out of which 4,066 are male and 569 are female, are competing for the 360 seats in the House of Representatives. Similarly, the full list of candidates and their political parties will be published for public information in line with the Commission's timetable and schedule of activity. And then they now moved straight to the state, and for the state elections, a total of 1,068 candidates, where we have 980 male and 88 female are contesting for 29 governorship positions, with 805 male and 263 female deputy governorship candidates. The Commission is working on the list of candidates nominated by political parties for the 991 State Assembly constituencies, as well as the 68 area council chairmen and councillors for the Federal Capital Territory. And that will come. They will give a full details of that when they publish nomination in line with timetable and schedule of activities. Moving forward, tonight our focus is on the contentious issue of proposed visa for the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to travel to the U.S. Many, especially political opponents, have questioned why the PDP candidate, who is also a former vice president of Nigeria, cannot travel to the United States. The PDP seems to have found a magic wand to the nagging question, as a travel visa is being secured through official channels. The piece of news is not pleasing to the ears of the top officials of the federal government. We feel that the U.S. may just be endorsing the PDP standard bearer, Atiku Abubakar.
The fact that it is the prerogative of any of the U.S. in particular to grant a visa to anybody who applies and who deserves the visa. However, the impression must not be created that the U.S. government is endorsing one particular candidate over the other. Because as you all will be aware, for more than 12 years, there has been a kind of a congressional, I think bipartisan investigation of corruption against certain individuals, and which I think had made it difficult, for the vice president, former vice president, to secure a U.S. visa.
Well, the Director General of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, Senator Bukola Saraki, fired back.
Again, I think it's a panic action by government. How does granting somebody visa equate to endorsement? These are some of the panic actions, because government is panicking. They believe that if that happens, that it will send the wrong signal. They should not interfere. They should allow the normal process to go. But again, as I said, that is the panic reaction of a government that is scared and is worried that is about to lose the election and is trying to see how they can muscle around.
Well, we shall be engaging on the same contentious issue, as we have one of the those in the media team and also the political strategies of the PDP Campaign Council with me in the studio. I'm being joined in the studio by Frank Shaibu. You're welcome to Democracy Today.
Thank you, Ijoma. How do you do?
Well, how do you do too? I'd like to make it clear that we had put a call through to the spokesman of the Buhari campaign organization, Barrister Festus Keamu, who had promised to be with us in the studio, but he turned down my calls and reminders. Perhaps he is busy at this moment, but we will still try our best to have him join us in the studio in the next few days. Let's give you some political updates from across the state. All right, so we just go straight to discussion. We will take that. Now, let me first of all find out, why is it that your presidential candidates cannot go to U.S.?
Who says our presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, His Excellency, cannot go to the United States of America? You asked me a question, but I'll ask you. Does going to America...
You don't need to ask
me.
I would ask you. Need to find an answer for my question.
Funnily enough, it's a prerogative of the government of the United States of America to determine who gets a visa to their country. It's their country. They are a sovereign nation. Nigeria is another sovereign nation. So it's their prerogative on who they grant visa. too or not. It has nothing to do with, you see, that's why I was listening to the loquacious minister of misinformation or information.
Sorry, we wouldn't like you to use. We'd like you to use decent language.
No,
when you are,
loquaciousness has nothing to do with indecency. It's just an adjectival qualification. You understand? Because when a minister of information who is being paid by with taxpayers' money is not properly informed, especially when the chairman of the Presidential Advisory Council, appointed by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Muhammadu Buhari, who is the President of the same Federal Executive Council, that he is a Minister of Information. The chairman of the Presidential Committee on Corruption, Professor Ite Sage, came out only a few days ago. He said, look, this government has nothing. They have no evidence against His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to charge him for corruption. And he advised all parties that, look, we have to do campaign based on issues. So the question is, why would any Minister of Information wake up from his bedroom because he needs to be heard? Or maybe suffering from what I call publicity neurosis.
Sorry, Nigerians will also want to know, if you are asking why the minister will wake up from his sleep, according to you, but Nigerians will also need to know, why can't your candidate go to US?
I don't understand. The question is, the beauty of this question is this. Going to America is not a prerequisite in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for anybody who wants to contest for the office of president. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is not contesting for the office of president of the USA. He wants to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My dear, the moment he is elected and is sworn in on the 29th of May 2019, America will come after the election. Of course.
If he wins.
Of course. You see, not if he wins. By the grace of God, he will win. He will win. The government, you see, let me tell you something. The moment he is sworn in on the 29th of May 2019, by his grace, America will come cup in hand, asking you to come, red carpet to be rolled, to welcome him into America. For now, why is government panicking? What is their business with, you see, for me, that's why I call what I call diplomatic brigandage or recklessness. There are diplomatic channels. As a government, we have received security information that they have tried every means to diplomatically convince America to stop giving a visa to His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, because that has failed. America has snubbed them.
Are you telling us here now that America has agreed to give the visa to him?
I don't want to say that. I'm not here to even discuss whether visa or no visa. We are not that. You see, what we are selling to Nigerians is we want to be president. His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar wants to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And we are sure the people are hungry. The people are tired. When a government has failed, they use any surreptitious means to stop the man who they have seen clearly it will be a clear winner in the next election. Let me shock you, Ijoma. Nigerians are hungry.
That is not in news.
That's
no longer news.
No.
That's what people say.
Nigerians are tired of stories. Nigerians are tired of failed promises. A government spokesman who should be concerned about the senseless massacre of our soldiers, may their souls rest in peace, would wake up to waste taxpayers' money by addressing a press conference to discuss what is supposed to be a diplomatic issue that borders on issuance of visa for a sovereign nation like America. For God's sake, assuming but not consider that Ijoma wants to maybe seek asylum in America, does America need to consult President Muhammadu Buhari to give you asylum? The answer is no.
Let me take you to this part. But I am aware from what I have read and what I've also heard that the Americans, it's people like the American president and those in power, cannot come visiting Nigeria 90 days or few days to election because it's their rules. They don't want to be seen as endorsing any candidates. Now, if the Minister for Information is saying that if America gives visa to the PDP candidate, it will look as if they are endorsing a particular candidate.
Yes.
Well, what do you think is the line? What do you understand?
I know where this is coming from, and they know that we know. They know that we know. In March 2015, President Barack Obama in a very short interview, in a veiled statement, veiled comments in an interview, told Nigerians, advised Nigerians, in an election between President Goodluck Jonathan and retired General Muhammadu Buhari, in a veiled comment, advised Nigerians on whom to vote for and how they should vote. It was a packaged move orchestrated by the APC machinery.
But I listened to that. I listened to that statement.
No, Ijoma, hold it. You may have listened to it. We are strategists. We are strategists. When we listen to such comments, we break it down. They know that we know. Now that is why they are afraid. Because the truth is this: in a free and fair election, they know they don't stand a chance, and they know that the only strands they hold on to, that's their campaign slogan. Atiku cannot go. His Excellency Atiku Abubakar cannot go to America. He cannot go to America. Now they have perceived that, America said, look, they've seen one is lifeless, and they have seen someone who has got
sorry,
life.
like I said before,
No,
we will not take such language on this program.
Anybody.
No, we won't take such.
We
won't take it.
With profound respect. If you say that, you won't take that, but if you listen to Laima, he talked about a man who is seemingly corrupt. He said that. You heard it now. So if you qualify a man, the presidential candidate of my party, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, whom your own government has claimed you have no evidence to prosecute him against him for corruption, and you are qualifying him as being corrupt because you feel America wants to grant him a visa, then the same America told the whole world, don't bring a lifeless president to me. And Americans should be able to see their government.
Mr. Shaibu,
separate the wheat from the chaff.
Mr. Shaibu,
they know what it is.
I want
so
to
they
ask,
don't need. Listen.
Sorry, I have to ask a question here.
Go ahead.
Atiku Abubakar was a member of the APC.
Yes.
Until he defected just a few months ago.
Yes. And
don't you think that these APC leaders know so much about him because he has been with them for over 3 years, for almost 3 years? I mean,
let me tell you something. The APC leaders do not just know him. He was their benefactor. They know that he practically sponsored the Buhari campaign. He knows. The president, even right in his bedroom now, knows that I know what he knows. That he practically sponsored this campaign. I put it to him. And I tell you on good authority. At that time,
that's your words.
Yes, they are my words. They are my words. He knows that, and he knows that I know. At that time, he wasn't corrupt. At the time, he was an aspirant for the office of president in the presidential primaries that held in Lagos. He wasn't corrupt. At the time, he had to sponsor the campaign of Muhammadu Buhari. He was not corrupt. Today, because he has emerged presidential candidate of the PDP and a sure winner of the presidential election in 2019, they've come with all forms of strategies to threaten him, to intimidate him. The other day, it was a search on his aircraft. Today, it's a world press conference to say, America, please don't give visa. That is an exhibition of wretched illiteracy. For a minister of information who knows diplomatic rules, he knows diplomatic rules of engagement. He does not need a press conference to communicate to a government like America. They think that it's one jejune government in Katsina or
Mr. Shaibu,
yes.
Are you aware that some persons took Atiku to court to declare his tax clearance, and he actually said he declared it? So what do you think about that?
Funnily enough, the moment the court papers are served on us, obviously our lawyers will take care of that.
So you've not received the court papers?
No, if we have, obviously I should know.
But you're aware that it's on the pages of the media, of the newspapers?
You see, a majority of the things that happen, a majority of the kind of lawlessness we see in this country, it grieves me exceedingly. Media trial is an aberration. If you go to court, serve the person. It's not to go to the pages of newspaper. That is not a courtroom. We have not been served. When we are served, our lawyers will respond accordingly.
Are you not a journalist?
I am a journalist.
Then why are you sounding like that?
You see, engaging in media trial, we have seen a lot.
So you've been in that same media trial.
What we expect, Idoma, what we expect from this government is to tell Nigerians what they have done in the last 3 years, 3.5 years. If they have nothing to say, all I expect them to do is apologize to Nigerians. so that posterity will be fair on them after losing out in the February election. So that posterity will forgive them. But to say that, oh look, all we have to do, all we want as a government is America, please don't give a visa to His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. That goes to show a government that has failed. It goes to show that the government has nothing to offer Nigerians.
Okay,
and
now,
they should just quietly go.
Yes, like I said before, we'll be taking your messages. We have a few minutes to go. This one is coming from Ekene Maduka via my Twitter handle at EJ Osamor. He says, the good for democracy, but the concern here is if the election will be credible or, as usual, the highest bidder. May God help our nation. Then Green again saying if the issue was such a mountain as the opposition wants it viewed as, US would have spoken out. So let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. You think we're making a mountain out of a molehill?
You should tell that to the federal government because they don't have anything doing. They are so jobless. How do you wake up and say, oh, all you have to do as a government is to address a press conference? You know the office of the Minister of Information of a country like Nigeria, to organize a press conference, it goes to show it's a panic measure.
Do you think
they have accepted defeat?
Do you think it's compulsory that Atiku must go to America? What's the essence?
That is the issue. Why are they complaining? Why are they fidgeting?
Then why is your party fighting for him to go to America?
Who has said so? Have we issued a statement to say that our candidate wants to go to America? He has a right to visit any part of the world at his time, and as long as he can afford it. Any part of the world. I go to America at will. My children go to America. Even my house help has a visa to America. What are they talking about? Why are they making a big deal about going to America? Going to America is not a prerequisite to become president of Nigeria. Atiku does not want to be president of America. He wants to be president of Nigeria. If you have nothing to tell our people, if you have nothing to offer Nigerians, pack and go. Don't begin to tell us tales by moonlight.
All right.
As simple as that.
All right.
This is the truth, Ijoma. Let me tell you something. They know that this election has been won and lost. They know too that the only way President Muhammadu Buhari can come back in 2019 would be either to rig elections, which they know that is not possible.
And they are also thinking
because they know Nigerians have become very
Mr.
cautious.
Mr. Shaibu, the same people are thinking that the PDP is planning to use money.
Oh my God!
To win the conscience of Nigerians.
Look, that takes us back to a set of people who are using what we call trader money that cannot even buy a cup of gari for any family. 10,000 naira cannot buy you a cup of gari. Anyway, can you pay for their toiletries in their houses?
Anyway, Mr. Shaibu,
they are sharing money everywhere in the name of trader money.
Mr. Shaibu,
PDP using money for elections. Come on, come off it.
Mr. Shaibu, I would like to say thank you for being a part of this program. And also, I want you to know that we intend to bring Festus Keamu on this program. We're supposed to have a 30 minutes session with him tomorrow. And if before the end of today, he gives us his word that he will be here, we just want you to stay with us tomorrow by 10 p.m. We'll be coming on this same program to discuss more on politics. I am Ijoma Osamor. Good night.